So good you could join us again. I am with Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes the two Roosticos, one in Alexandria, one in Ballston. Then you've got Shopmate in D.C. There's now two of those two, the original in Dupont Circle, the other down at the Wharf. Check those out. Very cool. Greg, it is always good to see you.
You too.
What's on tap this week?
This week we have a beautiful new collaboration beer between two of the most amazing breweries in the world. It's the Brasserie Dupont from Torp in Wallonia, Belgium, Hainaut province, the south. The makers of amazing Saisons, and then Allagash Brewing Company from Portland, Maine, who've been making incredible Belgian beer since 1995.
Simple as that.
Really cool. Brewer's Bridge, it's called.
Ooh. Oh, mommy, I like that.
It combines the classic Saison Dupont yeast character, white pepper, citrus, grass, with the use of Cascade hops, which of course are our classic American hop, made famous by Sierra Nevada with pale ale, and it has like this kind of Sierra pale ale finish to it. Not too bitter, but you can taste the roundness of that hop. You know, very floral, citric, nicely drying and not too bitter.
I'm getting a little sweetness and dryness at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay?
The malt. They said it's kind of like brioche in the malt character, and then that really gentle bitterness from the hops. Amazing. Bottle condition for that thick, creamy, mousse-like head. And just anything that either of these breweries touches is going to be worth your time and money for sure.
How did they walk down the aisle together?
Yeah.
Had they collaborated before?
No, so DuPont, of course, has been around since, well, it's been a farm in the South since the mid-18th century, and then brewing started there about 100 years later. The present family took over in the 1920s, and they've been making lots of different kinds of beers for a long time. You know, they making Saison since the 20s. They were doing lagers in the middle of the 20th century, and very well, I should add. They still make one today. They introduced their strong ale, that's their most highest selling beer in Belgium, Moynet, in the 50s. So DuPont's been kind of a small but regional brewery doing all these for a long time. DuPont Saison became famous world over in the 80s and 90s when Michael Jackson famously started writing about it. It began being imported in the US. So around that time, Rob Todd at Allagash was dreaming up a brewery in Portland, Maine. He decided to go with making a Belgian-style wit beer and devoting himself to Belgian-style beers, Allagash White, of course. So it's kind of, a match that was naturally going to happen one day, I think. And DuPont has been collaborating with some American brewers recently, with Lost Abbey being one last year. So I think annually they're working with an American brewer known for making amazing Belgian beers, and that's kind of where it happened. And I do want to mention too, before I forget, that Rob Todd, who's the founder of Allagash and owner, an original brewmaster, just won a James Beard Award for Beverage Professional, or producer, I should say, after being nominated many, many times. So really cool for him and for Allagash.
Now, for the uninitiated, some might be saying, wait a minute, I don't remember a Michael Jackson song about Belgian beer.
Yes. Sorry, I should say that Michael Jackson was the
other Michael Jackson.
The other Michael Jackson, who wrote about beer and whiskey. He was a journalist, an English journalist who wrote influentially about both for a long time, and frankly introduced many styles to the world. That he was the beer hunter. He would discover them and introduce them. Discovered a lot of people to a lot of different beers. Many American importers used his books to figure out what to bring over, and he made a huge impact on beer. I mean, without him, craft beer wouldn't be what it is today. I mean, a lot of brewers were introduced to beers because he wrote about them or introduced people to them. I think Rob Todd would say that he was influenced by a lot of Belgian-style beers through the work of Michael Jackson. So.
And we lost him, Michael Jackson, the writer, a while ago.
Yeah.
Still worth reading his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
On a much brighter note, what would you pair this with?
So it's summertime. We are in the South, and
you wouldn't know it from D.C. or recently. I feel like I'm in my hometown of Seattle.
But the heat is coming, and with it
by the time this airs.
Yeah, probably by now. But with it comes some great Southern food for the summertime. So I'm thinking like fried chicken, dry rubbed ribs would be great with this. Anything green like collard greens, and but you know, mac and cheese, pimento cheese, yeah, shrimp po' boys I think would be great. You know, anything that's fried could use a little hit of pepper and lemon. It's going to be delicious with this.
Dynamite. Greg, thank you as always. Everyone, please always do drink responsibly, and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another beer of the week.